Every road is not for everybody. There are going to be some people you want to take with you on some trips, and they can't go. And that's okay. It doesn't make them bad people. It doesn't mean that y'all shouldn't be friends. It doesn't mean that it can't work out. It just means there are some roads, there are some things you must travel down, there are some trips you got to take on your own. What's going on, family? Kevin and Jesse here with you guys today with the Elite State of Mind podcast. And as always, our goal is to listen, learn, and grow. Jesse, how you doing today, man?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing amazing today on this beautiful day. Family, make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram page. Hit that bell on YouTube for me so you get notified every Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. as Jesse and I are with you guys on your way to work. What we're going to talk about today, and the month of March being a month of new beginnings, spring came around. Yep. Praise God for some good weather these last few days, man.
Stay, man.
I feel you.
Yeah.
Today, what we're going to talk about is finding new roads. I'm steal Chevy's slogan real quick, man. Shout out to my guys down there at Chevrolet, man. You need a good ride, go see them. Finding new roads. Jesse, when we say finding new roads, what's that put you in the mind frame of?
Just finding new pathways. It makes me think about, neuronal connections in the brain, how we're going to change the mindset. In order for anything in our life to change, our thought patterns have to change, so we need new roadways in order to change direction, change path.
Very true. And family, the thing that I want to encourage you guys about today in finding new roads is don't be afraid of it. Mm-hmm. Be excited about these new roads, because so often, you move into a new house and you get into this town and you find a way to get to that house. And that's always the way. Yeah. You get back home. There's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes, I remember me and my best friend, the Chief, when we were up, going to UCO, that little time I stopped by there. Sometimes we would just, when he got his car, we would just get in the car and drive, man. That's how we found this place, called Pops up there, little shop that was really nice. But we just would drive around and find new roads. And it was exciting to find, like you said, new pathways, new ways to go. And so often we can get stuck in this routine and we can begin to drift. Yeah. And we'll just, every day it's the same road, the same path. Don't be afraid to find new roads, because there are so many ways to get to some places, to get to some new things that you can do in life. And sometimes in finding new roads, you need to find new people to be in the car with you. Ooh. Have you ever had to put new people in the car?
Yes. It's oftentimes necessary. Sometimes finding new pathways, you need to drive by yourself. Other times, you got to take somebody with you, like you said. The Chief, y'all went and figured it out. But as your journey continued, the Chief had to go his different ride.
For sure.
You had to go yours. So, definitely can't be afraid to get someone else in to help you navigate so you can reach the heights and where you're trying to go.
For sure. Now, I'm going to give y'all some advice the old people used to give me, that old song they used to sing in church. Don't let the devil ride, family. Because if you let him ride, he'll want to be your guide. And those are some roads you don't want him to lead you down.
Yeah, no.
And that brings us to the next thing, is that sometimes when we're on our roads in life, when we're on our, sometimes you get stuck in one way of thinking, or you get stuck in one way of doing things. You can head down a one-way street. Right. And as sometimes those streets, they have their purpose because everything needs to flow in this one singular direction. But there's a danger in going down some one-way streets, because if you head down it and you're not supposed to, it takes you a while before you can turn around. Because there's not always a turnoff. There's not always a U-turn. There's not always, a service road you can get off on in going down the one-way street. And then when you do that, you're going to look up, and maybe a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, you've been traveling in a direction that, man, you were only meant to go down for a month or two.
Right.
What for you, Jesse, what are the dangers of the one-way street?
Like you said, it's only, not to sound redundant, you're only getting one viewpoint. Because you can only flow one way. You don't have the option of, okay, I need to head back, north, or I need to head south, or, I don't have the option. Like you said, there's no turnabout on a one-way street. And so, like you said, if I get stuck, if I'm on this one-way street for too long, I'm going to miss the opportunity to change my direction when I need to. So I plotted this course, and hey, I need to go a different direction. Made me think about Bugs Bunny. I should have took that left
at Albuquerque.
Yeah, and so we're missing out on different opportunities because, hey, I decided it's comfortable. A one-way street can get comfortable.
Ooh. Because you don't have to do a whole lot.
No.
You just go straight.
No, you just...
down this road. That's
it. It's just we're going to go straight until we can't go straight anymore.
Uh-oh. And you hit a dead end.
Right.
Right. Don't. Them dead ends, they can lead you down. You hit those and, man, you don't know where you're going in life. You don't know where your next move is going to be because you placed all your eggs in this one basket. Everything was supposed to work out.
Right.
At the end of the destination, at the end of this one-way street, and you get to the place and it's still under construction, or it done closed up shop.
Yep.
And that can be, sometimes it can be disheartening.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because you were traveling down this street and you were like, man, this is going to be great. This is going to be amazing when we get to wherever it is we're going. And then it's not what it was supposed to be. It's not all it was built up to be.
Right.
Whether it's, a business venture, a relationship, or, just something you were doing for a little bit. And the next thing you know, it's not giving what it's supposed to have gave. Not what it was promised to have given.
Right. I think a lot of times, though, like you said, we go too far on the one-way street. And a lot of times, if we're paying attention, then we understand that as we're traveling, there's always going to be some construction going on somewhere.
Okay.
And so we're not privy or we're not paying attention to the signs of construction. And just like in business ventures and relationships, yeah, this is your path, right? You're trying to go this particular direction, but there can be different ways in order to get to your destination. And so if you're on this one-way street, then understand that at some point in time, it's going to come to an end. So if you're able to look ahead, have some foreseeability, and see that, hey, this street is not going to last forever, so let me go a different direction so I can still reach my endpoint in this relationship, in this business venture, in whatever it may be.
And you said some foreseeability, and that means we might need to ask for directions.
Yes.
We might need to approach somebody who has lived in the town a little bit long. You might need to find some elders because there's safety in the midst of counsel.
I mean, you're definitely correct. The ability we have access in mentorship, man. There's a book coming out called Real Rap that talks about that, especially dealing with us and men. We don't like asking for directions.
Sure don't.
Right? That's an ego thing. It's a pride thing. But as we progress in age and we understand that, okay, we're not always aware of the changes of the road and whatnot, we gain an access to knowledge, like you said, from these elders who, yeah, son, I've done this. The same thing that you've done, the same thing. There's nothing new under the sun. So allow me to take your hand and help you through it, navigate through the construction, okay, teach you how to drive through these different potholes and around these construction signs, all of this, and then put you on the course and the pathway that you want to and desire to go to. Mentorship is invaluable.
That's true. Because like you said, it can help you navigate around some things. And, if you're driving in your car down any road and you hit a pothole, you run over something. Many times we do this and there's no damage to the vehicle. Right. But there are some times where you do it, and the next thing you know, your tire's flat, your rims busted up, your bumper's hanging off your car because you didn't know that pothole was as deep as it was. Right.
And just the overall effect of continuing to hit this pothole and man, it's just bad. It's overall bad.
Like you said, if you have that mentor, if you have that person helping you navigate, these unforeseen streets, these new roads. Yeah. If they're new to you, they might shave 5 minutes off your drive.
Yes.
They might take you not through the construction zone, especially if you're a person that likes to speed. You can't be speeding through construction. Can't be speeding through school zones where the fines double and you get hit with reckless driving. Yeah. Now you can't even be on the road anymore.
You walking.
Chevrolet, taking you where you need to go.
Oh no!
All because, like you said, our ego dictates. Man, I don't want to ask anybody, for these directions. I don't want to humble myself and say, oh man, I see you're successful, or I see that you have navigated life in a way that appears you don't have a lot of the setbacks and things that some other people do. Right. would you help me out? Would you tell me what was your recipe?
Right.
And that has, for people to not ask directions of those who are successful is probably one of the stupidest things we can do in life.
I don't disagree. It is utterly ridiculous, right? It is a sign of pure foolishness to not be able. Yeah, you got that from her. It's a sign of utter foolishness to not ask somebody who is where you desire to be. And that's the key point.
Where you desire
to be there, then I think, you will do your very best to put the ego aside and allow humility to do its work, and then you will seek. If that's where you desire to be, you're going to seek that out. And then you are going to ask. And not ask like, hey, so how'd you do that? No, it's an ask like, listen, my life is here. I'm trying to get here. I need you to show me, take me by the hand. And the first time they say, I don't know. Like E.T. said, no, I'm going to be back here at 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock, if you're serious about it, you'll be here at 5 o'clock in the morning.
That's how bad I want it.
I want it.
And I heard the book say, seek and you shall find. Ask. You might get some answers.
You're going to get some answers if you ask.
Knock, and the door
will be open. Okay.
But we don't want to believe that.
That's work. That's work. That's labor intensive. That is an intention. It is something that you can't just on a whim do. No, you've thought about this for some time. You've taken inventory of your life and said, man, I think there's more to me. There's more to life than where I am and what I'm doing right now. Where can I find? Who can I find to put me on the right path? All right, then we're going to get this done. No matter what it takes, no matter what I got to do, I'm going to seek this thing out. I'm knocking at your door. Right.
And the crazy thing is, if we're plotting a trip to Miami or California, we're normally going to get on Google Maps if I got to drive out there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to follow the directions. Right? Now, how dumb would I be to have that resource and then I don't use it? And the next thing you know, I'm calling you, bro. I don't know how I got in South Dakota, but that's where I am. Can you help me out?
That's normally what we do, right? Typically, I got it. I'm going to figure it out. I don't need to use Google. I don't need no map. I don't need nothing. I can read.
No, you can't.
No, you can't. Not as well as you think you can.
Right.
Because if you could, you would probably already be there. Right?
True.
Okay.
Why do we... I have a desire to, be better financially. I have a desire to be in shape. I have a desire to be, whatever it is in life. But I will not bring myself to approach an individual, like you said, who is where I desire to be, and simply ask them for the instruction.
I think it's fear related.
Okay.
Definitely fear related. The fear of being rejected. To the fear of saying, I really don't know this thing. The fear of being judged.
Okay.
For what you don't know. And the reality is, when you are able to say, I don't know, you open so many different doors. True. So many different, you actually raise your level of vibration. So there you're able to meet your desire. That you really, really have. And so that where these individuals are, you can be. You can't receive their frequency when you're low and they're high.
Very true.
It's hard to do. That's why we have mixing boards.
Yep.
Right? So we have to raise different levels of volume. We have to raise different levels of frequency. We have to mix that thing up. Right. And the first thing you have to do is ask the particular engineer, hey, sir, ma'am, do you mind helping me? Would you get me in line? That's the first step to that thing. And if you're able to do that, again, putting down that ego, putting that pride to the side, you're going to obtain so much more.
Very, very true. And, it's going to make your journey that much easier because normally these maps, when you open up the map, it doesn't cuss you out and say, I'm not telling you how to get from, Norman to Wetumpka.
Right.
I don't want to tell you that today. No, normally it says, well, if you take this road, if you take this highway, if you go down this street, you're going to end up, and your destination is going to be on your right.
Right.
And it's just that simple as seeking out some instruction. Family, but let me say this to you as well. Before you get out here to find new roads, make sure you're in a good car.
Uh-oh.
Make sure your transportation is reliable.
Yeah.
Now, if you're just driving around town, you may be able to have a car that's not
Get that A to B, you be all right.
yeah, just a little daily driver.
Yeah.
But if you're taking some trips, if you're going across state lines, you want to make sure your tires are good. You want to make sure your oil's changed.
Yes.
You want to make sure all your fluids are where they need to be. So therefore, you're in pretty good shape, and your car shouldn't break down.
Right.
So when you go to get on these new roads, what I'm saying, family, is make sure your personal development, make sure your growth is where it needs to be to go out and, go out on these adventures.
Yeah.
Are you mentally prepared? Have you done the research? Have you done the study? Have you plotted a course?
Right.
Before you get out here and just get to driving all willy-nilly. And the next, and again, you get yourself lost.
Yeah.
And you might need to tell somebody where you're going.
See, that's the thing. That last point is really good because oftentimes we don't want to share. We don't want to share where we're going.
Facts.
For fear. Again, it's a fear thing, right? I'm grown. I can do this, and I don't want you to know where I'm trying to get because you might try to deter me. Well, you can't get there unless you tell somebody where you're trying to go. And they oftentimes know someone. If they can't help you, I know somebody who can because they helped me in this area of finance, and somebody else helped me in this area of fitness, and somebody else helped my mental get together. So yeah, you can be pointed in the right direction if you just share. You're not meant to carry this stuff by yourself.
No man or woman is an island unto themselves, and you are foolish to think that you can navigate this life solely by yourself. You are unable and ill-equipped to do that. You don't have everything you need. You're going to need some people to help you on this journey called life, to help you navigate these new roads. Because boy, life is tough.
Yeah.
Regardless of what anybody says, there are going to be some tribulations.
Right.
There are going to be some tough times. There are going to be some things that you've never dealt with before.
Yes. Yes.
And just to be able to have somebody say, oh, yeah, I know Chautauqua Street. Oh, okay. So can you tell me how to get back to Robinson? Yeah, you need to go over here and make this left. And, oh, man, it just gives you a certain peace of mind.
There's a relief that comes along with proper instruction and being able to execute upon it. Yeah.
Expound on that for a moment.
It's just a thing where, we understand what it is to have a path that's dark and then to have it illuminated. And the instruction is the illumination. So if you're able to have this particular light and you know the direction that you need to go, then the onus is upon you to follow the instruction, execute at a high level, and then to receive the success of reaching your destination. Right. So the ownership, it gotta be on us. Right. We have to take it and say, hey, again, I don't know, let me ask, because every time we ask, we get an answer. Every single time. Every single time. Those are facts. So if you're looking for a direction, if you need direction, all you got to do is ask. And the answer that is given, if you follow the instruction, is going to lead to good success. Every single time. Every time. That's true. And when you said, you gotta have that illumination, just reminded me of John. As John said, I'm not the light, but I've come to tell you about the light. I bear witness. Man. He was so excited about the illumination before it was present. Yeah. He was running around telling people. And like you said, because you have this thing, because you've had this idea, you have this, this new relationship, you see it all the time. We get a new relationship, we want to tell everybody, about it. We get a new business venture, we want to tell everybody about it. Yeah. And then there's going to be that light that comes. There's going to be that instruction that then follows. And normally, now here's the thing. Sometimes you can get with people and they're going to give you these 96 steps to success. Right. It's too many. That's way too many. Way too many. Normally the best advice, the best instructions are going to come with,
3, 4, 5.
They're simple.
Maybe 10 steps to get you to where you need to go, to get you to, like you said, to your destination. And you want to make sure that you follow those things.
Yeah.
Now, what you can't do, what you cannot do in finding new roads is be indecisive.
Right.
Do not be afraid to pick a road.
Yes.
Now, obviously, we want to make sure you get navigated down the correct path. But sometimes you're going to make a wrong turn. You're going to go down some wrong places.
Yes.
But the worst thing you can do is to be at the stoplight just sitting.
And never go.
I remember a story my dad told me about, when him and Papa was driving one time and he came to a stop sign. And he say, Papa say, son, the sign say stop, not stay.
Yes. I dealt with that yesterday on the street. Person in front of me wanted to stay. You don't live here. It's not your house. Move.
Right. Please drive. Please go home.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you are going to have enough faith. You're going to have enough in and of yourself that when you come to this fork in the road, drive down it. Even if it's the road less traveled. It's my favorite poem.
Yes.
Y'all go
Great
check
poem.
that thing out, man.
Great poem.
Even if it is the road less traveled, drive down it. Because you don't know what awaits.
Right.
You don't know what may be down there for you. And it's a part of your journey.
Yes.
Because 9 times out of 10, the most beautiful thing about this thing called life, about finding these new roads, it's not the destination we reach. It's when you look back.
Process.
If you and your homie did get lost, boy, you remember when we had that extra 30 minutes and we were supposed to be over here and we got lost and it took us, those things are part of that journey.
Yeah.
Those, those missteps, some of those things that you were able to overcome and recover when you persevere, push through, and overcome. Those things are the things that are going to be special to you in the journey. But why is it that we won't just pick a road, that we'll stay at the stop sign?
Picking a road will show to yourself and to the world that I did make a decision. And a lot of times, the brunt of the decision we fear. Again, we won't move because of fear. And it's not always internal. Oftentimes, it's external of what others might say. I'm worried about, this might be the wrong thing viewed in the wrong way by outside people. The reality is none of that matters.
Very true. Right?
Because at the end of the day, I read the book by Jeff Olson. I can't remember the title name right now, but we'll put it in the title. But he pretty much just said, I think it was chapter 8 or 9, where he just says, hey, how we overcome the fear of what other people think. It's understanding that only like 50 people are actually going to come to your funeral.
Ooh.
Understanding that if it rains, only 10 of them are actually going to go to the gravesite. So of the millions and billions of people in the world,
the millions and millions
in the world, only 10 are going to be there as they lay you to rest. What exactly are you fearing?
Man,
what exactly do we have to fear? Let's stop and think about it for a moment. What do we really have to fear?
Nothing, because you weren't given a spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind.
And a sound mind, right?
Because a double-minded man is unstable.
It's unstable
in all, not some,
in all,
not a few, not 90%, but all of his ways.
Make a decision. Right or wrong. I remember, our uncles told me that early on. Pops told me that early on. Man, you make a decision. Part of you walking in your manhood is to make a decision. Everybody's not going to agree with your decision.
Facts.
But you make that decision, it's yours. Whether it's right, wrong, or indifferent, you're going to own that thing, and then you keep moving. Right? It's a real simple recipe that as you progress, as you go, you begin to make better decisions.
Very true.
But you can't get better at it if you never make the first decision.
Those are facts. Especially, like you said, as men, we have to come to a point where we begin to make those decisions and stop being so indecisive.
Right.
And we are comfortable enough in your manhood and who you are as a man to say, this is the direction I'm going. This is the vision that I have.
Yeah.
This is the plan that I have scouted out for myself. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, okay.
Yeah.
Because if you're not dead, you can always go in a new direction.
That's right.
You can pick a new way.
That's right.
You can say, okay, this is the way I'm going to go now.
That's one of the things, and some of the things that we've been reading this past few weeks is just that, what we know, the change is constant and it's going to happen. But the thing that we can control is when we change.
True.
Like you said, that could be today that you could decide that I'm going to live a different life. I'm going to have a different career. I'm going to have a different physique. I'm going to have better finances. You can make that decision today.
Right now.
Right here. Right now. You don't need anybody's permission.
Nope.
And this is what people, get hung up on. That I got to wait and see what, my parents and my folks think about it, or what bros think about it. Or what? Do you want to get better or not? And if you do it. Decide today and just do it.
Do it.
Just do it. Like, well, what is it that I need to do? Well, first, you got to change your mind, how you think, the ability to process this information. Are you open to the idea that greatness in you and you are greatness? Are you open to that? Are you open that there's nothing that you can't have?
True.
Nothing. And the only reason you don't have what you desire is because you've been in your own way. Point blank and period. If you want it, go out here and get it.
Right.
No matter what it is. I want a better relationship.
Go get one.
Okay, go get one.
Go get one.
Go get one. Go do it. And we're not saying, hey, leave the person that you're with. What we're saying is, if you want a better relationship, first thing you need to do is work on yourself. Work on your mind. Work on your attitude. Are you out here living in grace versus judgment? Are you speaking in a tone that can be well received by those you speak to?
Very true.
No? If you're not, you can change that. Pick up a book. There's a video, an audio book. There is something that can help you improve on you. Do that.
Change the oil in your car.
Right? Do that.
Make sure that air filter is clean.
You need new tires?
Put them on there.
Go get them.
Because some of y'all out here, man, y'all lucky Oklahoma ain't got one of them inspection stickers no more.
Right.
Because your car wouldn't be on the road.
Oh, my gosh.
They tell you to park that sucker in your driveway because you're out here with bald tires, no tail lights.
Right.
You got one side mirror.
Cyclops headlight.
Man.
Yeah.
The only light you got on your car is your high beams. You're blinding everybody. But then you want somebody to get in your car.
Oh man.
You want somebody to come get in your raggedy piece.
Hold on now. Talk about that for a minute, man.
You want somebody to come get in your shaky ride like it's safe. And now you want me to go down this road of life with you. When, I'm not saying you got to have the 2022 Escalade.
Right.
I'm not saying that. Is your car, is it reliable?
Talk to the fellas more about that end on them. Bring it home for them, man. The translation. You
have got to, when you're dealing, there are things in your car, like you said. Are your tires bald? That means, are you in decent shape? Because one, you can't be trying to, we all want to do the 9 to 5 millionaire. We all want to be entrepreneurs. That takes energy. So again, we can't be waking up, at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning. Then, because you got to get to work. If you got a family, you have to take care of them. You're helping them get to school. Then you're coming home, you spend some family time, and then you're spending time on whatever your entrepreneurship or business venture is. But you want to do these things fat and out of shape.
Right. It's hard to do. Sorry.
Like, no, I'm not. Like, here's the thing. I got the 09 Kia, but I don't get in the Kia to go to Dallas.
Right.
I don't do that because it's not going to make it.
Do you trust it?
No, I don't. I sure don't. I sure don't.
So the correlation is, for us, as men, we're supposed to lead from the front. We're going to lead the way, right? And one of the ways we can do that is working on, our physical selves to be the best version of ourselves that we can. So if I'm not my best version, every body type is different, right? We understand that, but we need to stop making the excuse, right? So let me make sure I'm understanding. So if I'm not in the best version of myself, which is being the best physically I can be, is it safe for somebody to rely upon me, to trust in me? Okay.
No. Okay. Because again, if money is a vibration, and money is we all deem money to be a positive thing. Now, the love of money can be a negative.
Yeah. Talk about it.
The love of money is a negative thing. But money itself, that piece of paper, is a positive thing. Your vibration needs to be positive, right? And you're going to feel better about yourself the healthier you are. I don't care what anybody says or whatever they tell you. The healthier you are. And I'm not saying you got to go out here and look like Lee Haney or Arnold Schwarzenegger or The Rock. No. I'm just saying you need to be in good health to where you're not taking a plethora of pharmaceutical pills just to sustain you and keep you alive. Right. The next thing, fellas, that you have to do when you are making sure your car is safe, read a book. Please read a book. No, not a book. Read books.
Several hundreds of them, please.
Man,
thank you.
You are not going to find any CEO, CFO, owner, vice president, chair of any company who doesn't read. And I'm not talking about these Facebook and Instagram, the CEO of this floor entertainment. I'm not talking about them.
Not at all.
I'm talking about, the Bill Gates, the Grant Cardones of the world, these people, the Warren Buffett, these people that have stood the test over time. And this just male or female, you're not going to find successful people who do not read. The saying, readers are leaders.
Right. It's a true statement.
Is a very true thing.
Are we not the leader of our own self?
Have to. The master of your ship.
Are we not the CEO of ourselves?
We talked about that a little while ago, family. You are the CEO of you enterprise. So, fellas, you have to get your mind right. That's why we talk about you got to go get that tune-up, right? Because if your car is misfiring, if you go to punch the gas, and you hit what was that? You need new plugs and wires, right? Well, if you're trying to create something, if you're trying to get these ideas, you need to read. Reading brings about creativity.
Yes.
You need to go read some things that challenge you. You need to read some materials, some sources and resources about whatever the idea is you're trying to have. So then, when you are on the road and you're passing by some other people, you can actually pick up their vibration. Like Jesse said earlier, you can pick up the things that they're putting down.
Yeah. I know reading increases the imagination, right? In all things, as Steve Harvey would say, your imagination is the preview of life's coming attraction. Right. So if you have nothing there, when the vibration is sent to you, and you have nothing in there to actually pick it up so that the picture can be presented for you, which becomes vision. Right. And nobody wants to follow a man who does not have vision for himself or for the life, then it makes him ill-equipped to lead.
I'm going to tell you, to all the sisters out there, I have a daughter. I have a sister. No. Oh, baby, what's his plan? Oh, he ain't got one. Well, he ain't got you.
Right.
And
what book is he currently reading? And if you say,
that's Daddy don't like that answer, baby. And we're not going down that path. No, because I'm not with it. If they was to ask me who give her away, nobody. I'm hitting you with the key sweat.
She can't.
Nobody.
Right, pretty much. She is not.
Man, it's not. No, because how are you going to get somewhere you don't know where you're going? Right. You cannot. You again, in finding new roads, you got to look at the map. Brothers, we got to have a plan as to where it is we're going to go. Right. And, lastly, in your car, get you some good accessories.
Yes.
Man, make sure your car is smelling nice. Make sure it's clean. If you want some rims,
get you some rims.
Get you some decent rims. Make sure your paint is nice. Get somebody to buff out the paint. Get you a good detailer.
Right.
Because obviously, if you're out here just looking broke, busted, and disgusted, the chances of you being, one, taken seriously. Right. If I get a meeting, with Grant Cardone, with Bill Gates, Steve Harvey, I'm not saying I need to go buy a $5,000 suit.
No. But you do need a suit. It needs to be tailored.
Some decent shoes, a good tie, right?
Right.
We've all seen, most of us seen the movie Barbershop. It was brother was needing had a job interview, right?
Yes.
And it was important for him to get a haircut.
Yes.
And then he came back and said, "Hey man, I appreciate that.
I was able to get the job
because I got that job."
Yes.
So your appearance, it does matter.
It matters.
And that's obviously your appearance is one of the byproducts of being, physically fit. The thing we talked about first, putting the good tires on your car, but the accessories and how you're gonna dress, like Jesse said, Get your suit tailored.
Yes.
Make sure your clothes are fitting the way they're supposed to fit.
It speaks to your mental health, regardless of what you may think. Like, it's not a big deal. It doesn't matter. This, that, and the other. From the outside perspective is this is an individual that thinks well of him or herself, right? They view themselves in a proper manner. So therefore, I can take them, like you said, I can take them seriously. I can take them as something, a force to be reckoned with. Right? You need to change the narrative of what the outside world has to say about you, and you do that by how you present yourself. Right? If we put a well-seasoned steak that is awesome, cooked well, seasoned well, all of that, and it's underneath some trash, and Oscar the Grouch's trash can lid is over the top of it.
Who's gonna eat it?
Who's eating it?
Nobody.
Presentation matters, and it matters even more inside of your relationships, fellas.
It sure does. It sure does.
Yeah, it matters.
Make sure, because hey, everybody got a pair of eyes.
Right.
Everybody got eyes.
Right.
We can all see.
Right.
We can see people. We can see new things. We can see new opportunities.
Right.
But if your car is sturdy, if it's reliable, if it's taken some trips, if it's been there through the tough times, if you've driven it on the snow and ice, and it's done well, you're not very likely to want to go out and buy the new shiny one.
No.
Because this one, it's good. We might be able to make some improvements on it.
Right.
But I got some value in this.
Yes.
When I put this car on the road, I know it's going to get me where I need to go.
Trust in it.
Man.
Yeah.
Make sure you are presenting the car on the road as something that is sturdy and reliable.
Yes.
Because if it's shaky, if it's unstable, probably going to get left on the side of the road.
Get traded.
Hey. Hey, and then they'll be finding new roads in the 2022 Tahoe.
Pretty much. Hey, come on, Tahoe.
Hey,
Yeah. Yep.
So, but Jesse, before we get out of here, what I want you to share with the family is, what is the excitement of new roads?
I think the excitement of new roads is the new destinations. The opportunities, more than anything. It's an opportunity to continue to become more. And that is one of our main purposes while we are here on this earth, to become more. And what that is, it depends upon you as an individual, from your gifts, your talents, your abilities, to figure out how I can become more. And so I may have to change my course along the way, but I have to obtain some skills so that I can actually read the map, so I can actually know how to navigate and use Google Maps or whatever it may be, so that the way in which I know I need to go, I can actually go. And no one can really deter me from my destination if I have these things in place. More often than not, too often times, because the opinion of others, they'll come in and say, hey, you should probably go this way. Well, this is a faster way or a quicker way. I know a shortcut. That's one of the main things you got to get rid of. We don't need any shortcuts. Now, if you can get my time down, as you said earlier, 10, 15, 20 minutes, okay, great. But I don't need no shortcut.
Right.
I need you to actually have looked at something and you show evidence in your own life that you were able to navigate through, and this is why you say we need to go this particular direction.
Right.
So the excitement is that the thing that I have, in my heart's mind, my desire, I'm able to get to it because I, with intention and purpose, have plotted out this particular course, and I know that if I follow instruction, I will get there. I may not get there as fast as I want to, but I know I'm going to get there.
Very, very true. Family, the thing that I want to leave you guys with in finding new roads, every road is not for everybody. There are going to be some people you want to take with you on some trips, and they can't go. And that's okay. It doesn't make them bad people. It doesn't mean that y'all shouldn't be friends. It doesn't mean that it can't work out. It just means there are some roads, there are some things you must travel down, there are some trips you got to take on your own. Don't be afraid to take, those journeys, because at the end of the day, then you'll be able to come back by and pick that person up, and they can share in your experience. Yes. But the danger in taking some people on some roads that aren't for them is they're going to mess your journey up.
Yes.
They're going to mess up your trip. They're going to delay you from where you were supposed to be going. They might be sabotaging your car
From the inside.
And the next thing you know, y'all done stopped off at the 7-Eleven and your car sitting on bricks. They done stole your tires, drained the oil.
Oh, man. Put sugar in your gas tank.
Man.
All that.
And that take you, 4 or 5 years to recover from that thing.
Right.
So make sure, you vet the people that you let go on these trips with your family. We sure do. Appreciate you guys for being here with us today. We hope you were able to listen, learn, and grow. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe to our Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, and hit us up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Y'all have a great day.